Alright, what's going on everybody? Anime Ramble back with another episode. Today we will be discussing Kaiju number 8, chapters 102. Now, if you remember where we left off from the last chapter, Reno just cleared the way for Kafka so he can get to Captain Mina, who is currently in a 1v1 stalemate. Not really a stalemate. Kaiju number 9 is actually getting the upper hand of Mina as it stands currently. You have Kafka, who is trying to get to her location, and you have pretty much the entire new generation running reinforcements for everything that has happened in Tokyo as of right now. The main highlight of this chapter is definitely Furihashi, but it can't be understated that you have Izumo and Kaguragi there that are also showcasing incredible performance, definitely, because I had mentioned it in the previous chapter. Izumo, with his parents being the lead weapons designer for pretty much the entire defense force against the kaiju masses that plagues this universe, he has access to the top grade weapons, and you see that on hand right now. He doesn't have the fortitude output that, say, Reno has, or Kafka, or Kikoru, but because his weapon is designed to poison kaijus, he doesn't need to be as strong. And it's just like one of them situations where you're reading the chapter and you're like, why the fuck doesn't everybody have those? You would have so many less casualties if everybody in the defense force had these type of toxic, petrifying weapons, but it just doesn't seem like they want to make those standard issue. You know what I mean? Same thing with Reno's shields. If it's an actual design that's in the weapons, why not give every defense force member shield generating weapons and toxic petrifying weapons? You know what I mean? But nonetheless, it fits for Izumo. Kaguragi, he has a force type of jackhammer type of weapon where he just slams it into kaiju and it disintegrates them. But that only came after Izumo has shot it with the arrow, so I don't know if that's going to be something that he can use in everyday type of combat. But nonetheless, front and center is Furihashi, and this is where his time to shine is. With Reno holding off Daikaijus in the background for Kafka, Furihashi is one of those lone wolves that is just expected to be able to take on a Daikaiju threat by themselves, and he did show up and he showed out. Now, it was previously stated back before the time skip when everybody was getting together to begin training, right? You had Kikoru with Narumi, you had Kafka with Vice Captain Hoshina, and then you had Reno and Furihashi with the 4th Division Captain, right? And the 4th Division Captain took a liking to Furihashi in the sense that he reminded him a lot of himself, in the sense that they are two very special type of defense force members, right? They are what's known as flash adapters, and flash adapters are individuals that have a special, what they say, a special cerebral link or a special cerebral something. I'll have the manga panel up on the screen for y'all. But something's going on with their cerebral cortex where they don't distribute their fortitude level unless it's like in an absolutely ridiculous circumstance that they put themselves in. So in the manga chapter, his output level on just base, him running out there to take on the Daikaiju threat, was like at 22%, something abysmal, right? The science guys were easily saying, look, that's not going to be enough for a Daikaiju threat. And as he took a leap of faith, which he was instructed to do by the 4th Division commander, he almost gets smashed into the ground. As I say that, he wasn't smashed into the ground, right? He jumps up and his fortitude level spikes to 88%. This is what's known as a flash adapter. There's constant fluctuations within their fortitude level, which makes them a benefit on the field, but it also makes them a detriment, because when they're just chilling, it's low. But as soon as danger ensues or adrenaline gets pumping, that flash adapter shit takes off, and they're able to spike their fortitude level. And in Furihashi's case, he spikes his fortitude level to 88%, which is on par with Captain Class. Now, I kind of like what Matsumoto is doing here. It seems as though everybody in the new generation, at least the main forerunners of the new generation, all have some sort of gimmick to them as to why they are as powerful as they are. You don't really see that in other manga. Truth be told, Kafka, he's as powerful as he is because Kaiju number 8 is inside of him. That alone is one gimmick, right? Then you have Kikoru, and she is the prodigy child, right? She is the product of Isao Shinomiya, the previous director general of the entire defense force, and when he was active as a defense force member soldier, he was arguably one of the best in the entire history of the defense force. And then you have Hikaru Shinomiya, Kikoru's mom, who was, I can't remember what captain she was, but she had access to the numbered weapon 4 suit and the numbered weapon 4 weapon, the fastest numbered weapon that they have at the defense force, and she was in that category. So Kikoru is a prodigy child, right? And then you have Furihashi here, who isn't a prodigy child, who doesn't have some kaiju buff to him, but is known as a flash adapter who is able to subconsciously activate his fortitude whenever danger arises, which puts him at classes of captain class in just short bursts of moments, right? This isn't something that he can maintain for long periods of time. I don't know if the 4th Division captain ever learned how to maintain it. He probably does, considering he's a captain, but he seems like a chill dude. So I feel like if you measured his fortitude level right now, it'd be like idling at like, 40, 45, and then he could probably spike it to like 98, 99, something around that level. We just don't know yet. So now that we know that Furihashi is a flash adapter, he has a very unique fighting style to his name, right? It's a desperate fighting style paired with a very unique special weapon that it allows him to generate electricity produced from his body. Like I said, when he gets into these heightened states where his adrenaline is pumping, right, he's about to get smashed into the ground, blood's pumping very fast, he's able to make these generated electrical shotgun blasts, right? He has actual bullets, but I think he charges them with electricity so that he can actually deal with the Daikaiju threats by himself. And it takes about, 8-9 shots. Regardless, he can't one-shot the Daikaiju, but he can deal with them. And that's the biggest thing that is coming out of this. So you have the entire new generation. You have Izumo, you have Fugaragi, you have Furihashi. They're all pushing forward, taking out the Daikaiju threat. The only problem is that there's still too many of them, and they have to be able to deal with them in a timely manner. The only problem is that they're gonna run out of steam eventually. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They don't have that many defense forces, which is still, because you gotta remember, this isn't just happening in Tokyo. This is happening all over Japan. So the reason you don't see the 2nd Division captain, the reason you don't see the 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th Division captains all rushing to Tokyo is because they have to still deal with their neck of the woods in their area of Japan. And I'm imagining this rain of Titan kaijus that have fallen down in Tokyo is happening all over Japan as we speak currently, and as Furihashi and everybody is doing their thing here. So because the current Director General understands this, he was like, all right, well, we need a plane. And that's when Narumi comes over the communication lines, right? And he says to the Director General, look, we need to just go for Kaiju number 9 right now. Right, if we cut the head off the snake, the body will follow. These Daikaijus that you see right now, they're strong, but they're really just receivers. They're just receiving the signal from the puppet master, who is Kaiju number 9 in this case. So if they can get to him, take his head, all the other Daikaiju will fall, and we need to do this before the new generation and all the Defense Force members who have been fighting for so long, before they run out of steam. And you know what? They actually show a picture of Kaiju number 9 in this chapter, and he still has Mina. And I was looking at it, I was like, are you still doing that? Because it didn't take you that long to absorb Isao Shinomiya. You know what I mean? Like, which leads me to believe that he doesn't need to absorb Mina. He needs to extract something from her, and that can only be done if she's like alive and not absorbed. We don't know that when Kaiju number 9 absorbed Isao, if he deleted him before he absorbed him, or if he just absorbed him, but something is leading me to believe that he needs Mina as she is right now, alive and healthy, before he gets the next part of his plan underway. And that's kind of where this chapter leaves off on. We are left off on Narumi and the Director General coming to grips with what it is that they have to do. Will they be able to defeat Kaiju number 9 in some surprise attack? I doubt it, unless this manga is going to be over in the next 20 chapters. They're not communicating with Kafka. Kafka's not a part of this communication link, even though Kafka is on the way. So we're going to have to wait till next chapter to see what is actually going to happen. Again, Ashiro is not in a good spot. I'm still kind of baffled. We haven't seen a numbered weapon pistol, numbered weapon shotgun, numbered weapon something come out of Mina in this case. It's quite perplexing, but hopefully we'll discover what's going to go down next chapter. I think I've rambled on long enough. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. Let me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on and how you think this is actually going to go down. What is the actual purpose of keeping Mina alive? What is his actual goal for Mina, and what is she going to be used for? How does this all relate back to her and Kafka's childhood, and why are they so special amongst kaijus? I will keep the content coming frequently as humanly possible, and I'm out.